Hmm. I don't fully understand this game, really. I picked it for the Hyperspin Hyperscore challenge, but it's a very weird game. It's got a really touchy hitbox, too. Never played this before, so... Okay. Oh. Hmm. Oh, okay. What does that do exactly? Apparently I can't pick up things. Oh, jeez. Mhm. Okay, what did I miss? I don't understand. Hmm. I thought it was that you had to get all these little treasure things, and I could have sworn I got all of them. There we go. I must have missed one before. Okay. Oh, jeez. Hi. Okay. Well, and then I went. Stupid. Mm. Oi. Okay. Oh. Well, there's variety in the bad guys. I'll give it that. No. I think the high score is like 100 and something thousand. I don't see myself reaching that. I don't see that happening at all. Not without playing this a ton. And frankly, I don't like this game. How's it going, Brian? was attempting the high score thing, the new one, for this time around, for the Hyperscore tournament thing that they do. And it's Red Robin. I don't like the game. Oh. Really? With the throws? Really? Yeah, the high scores, like for that game Red Robin, it's like 100 and something thousand. There's absolutely no way I'm gonna get that score. I got like, it was the first time I ever played, but I got like 30,000 and already got sick of the game. So really. Yeah, I don't stand a chance. I don't see myself getting that high of a score. I won the last one for Popeye. I'll take that and run with it. We'll see what game they pick next. I'm gonna skip this one though. Oh, you got me. I decided to take a break from making the cinematic things. I was working on HB MAME, Misfit MAME, Homebrew MAME, whatever you want to call it. But I needed a break. I figure I haven't streamed in a while, so let's see if anybody would jump on. I knew I was dead. Thank you. Yeah, Homebrew MAME is, it's not for everybody. I'll show you some stuff. It's a bit weird, some of the stuff that it's got. I mean, you'll find things on there that aren't on any other system. The toughest part about the Homebrew MAME cinematic is that there's no video snaps made for it, really. The only video snaps that I know of that exist are just ones from... Look at this dude jumping around. Stay still. are the ones from MAME. So if there's a hacked version of Qbert, it'll use the Qbert video. And I didn't want to put that in the cinematics, so I actually sat there this morning and played and got about 70 different, I recorded about 70 different video snaps for the major games so that I can use them in the cinematic. Yeah, keep jumping, buddy. It wasn't tedious. I got to play the games. I mean, I basically just sat here with the software recording and went from game to game, and there's a mouse showing up. Went from game to game and just let it record as I played, and then, oh geez, what did I do? I did something to it. Oh well. I'm gonna go. I'll show you HP MAME. Yeah, I have one already, a theme, but this is something that I kind of took from someone else's theme and changed it a bit and threw it together, and I'm not too happy with it. But I wanted to work on HP MAME quite a bit. I wanted to get make wheels for it, and with the full titles for the games, make video snaps for each major game, not every single game, but since I already started, why not? But I mean, it's very... If you see this game right here called Abortman, you can see it's like Pac-Man, but I mean, the ghosts are hangers, and Pac-Man is a fetus. So that should tell you right there what HP MAME is. I mean, anything goes with this system, pretty much. They come up with some really weird stuff. Not all of it is like that, but you know, there's some pretty bad stuff in it. And see, this is the problem. Like, I have no idea what these are right here, because there's no video snaps made for them. There's no pictures, no name for it. So I'm hoping to take some time eventually and go through this and fix it. There's a lot of like demo software in here and test software for the cabinets, and I'm gonna take that garbage out of there, get a clean list of just the homebrews and the hacks and stuff, and put all the media. See, like this, Art of Fighting 2. This is the actual game. So it has the actual video snap. But why would I want the actual game in the HP MAME wheel? I only want the hacks and fan-made stuff, you know. So this would come out. And then you got this, which I have no idea what it is. Like, it's Art of Fighting 2, but it's B. They added something to it. And I don't know what that is. So I'd like to add maybe a description of what's different or something, and then add the full name. Some of them, they added more moves, or they made it the game faster. I found a Pac-Man game earlier that was insane. It was like super speed. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, see, they got stuff like Pac-Man 2600. It's a rendition of the Atari 2600 version. It's not exact, though. I mean, it doesn't have the right sounds or anything. But this is mainly known for, well, there was one. Gigapig actually made one. But the problem with Gigapigs that I ran into was that he included a lot of the real games with it. The ones that you'll find in MAME anyways. And he cut out a lot of the politically incorrect games, like Abortman. and stuff like that. And that's the kind of games that I want in there, as sick as that sounds, I know. But that's the kind of games that I want to leave on the wheel because that's what keeps it different from MAME. So he did make an XML, but it just wasn't what I was looking for. He had these like snapshots in there, and it was like a media package that he did, and but it just wasn't. It didn't include everything in there that I wanted. Seeing some of them are slight changes, some of them are bigger changes. Like this is awesome, Pac-Man Invisible. I'll show you this one. It's okay. So there might be a bezel. I have to turn that off in the options thing, but the global options. But for now, I just do this, and it puts it on my top monitor, so I have to leave and come back in. That was tedious when I was doing this earlier, and I still haven't changed it in the settings XML. Oh well. So this game is exactly like Pac-Man. Only thing is, all the walls are invisible. So it might seem like not a big deal now because you can follow the dots, but once you start eating all the dots and you start losing your path, it gets a little bit more difficult. Ah, see, I got stuck. Ah. It's hard enough to play this game without a four-way joystick, but then you gotta not know where the darn walls are. But it's pretty cool. I mean, things like this. That's why I like having the HB MAME wheel on here. Because you get all kinds of homebrew stuff. This is Millipede without or with Pac-Man stuff. It's Ghosts, and Pac-Man is the actual ship. So, what else is this? I don't know this one. There's a lot of neon versions. See, this is the actual Pac-Land. So this doesn't belong here. I mean, this would take some time to actually go through the XML and eliminate all of the original ones. "3D Pac-Man." It's got tons of Pac-Man games, though. Pac-Mario. It's Donkey Kong's instead of Ghosts. Pac-Matrix. I don't know what this is, but let's check it out. Probably have to do the bezel thing again. Nope. Matrix effect on Pac-Man hardware. Follow the White Rabbit. Ah, it's just a Matrix thing, that's all. Nothing special. See, stuff like that, I'll cut out of there. I'll cut out of the XML. It's worthless. Pac Mini. So it's Pac-Man just really tiny. Pac Multi. I don't know what that is. Pac Popeye. It's Popeye instead of Pac-Man. So this is probably it. Pac Speed. if it's the one that I think it is, this game is so jacked, I swear. It's like, yeah, Speedy. It's gotta be it. Or at least a rendition of it. This version is downright impossible to play. Oh no, it's not. What's okay? It's not the one that I played earlier. I'm not sure what this is. Ah, come on. Okay. Maybe it was a. I think it was a Miss Pac-Man. There's like 1,200 games here. That's why it would take a long time to do. By the way, finding all the garbage. There's a lot of Metal Slug homebrews. Hmm. Well, I don't know. Ooh, my goodness. But you get some funny games too. You'll come across like there's a Mario one where he's got a penis hanging out. A Cubert one where his nose is a dildo. Stuff like that. Hmm. I don't know. It would take me forever. But it was a Miss Pac-Man game. I know that for sure now. But it moved just lightning fast. Like the ghosts moved normal speed, but Miss Pac-Man moved like lightning. And it's like I said, it's hard enough to control without a four-way joystick. But when she is like dashing everywhere, it was funny. It's pretty cool, but you definitely need a four-way joystick for that, and really good reaction time. I don't know what this is. Let's see. Yeah, it was pretty difficult. I mean, in one way, it's easier because you're moving much faster than the. I really hope I don't pull up something really bad here and then get kicked off YouTube because of it. Trip number. I'm really taking a risk playing these games on the stream. Oh. What is going on? Holy cow. So sometimes they'll just change the sprites but not the hitboxes, and it's really. That was really weird. Now, there is one game that everyone gets. If they get HP maimed, they get it for this game. I'll show you. right here. Crazy Kong. It's probably one of the most popular games on HB MAME. You get barrels in this game that just shoot at you like super speed. You'll see, it'll happen. The sound effects are changing everything. See that barrel on the bottom? It went to the end and came back. I'm screwed. Yep, I knew it. I hate playing this game with a 8-way joystick. Oh my god, get up the ladder. Holy cow. See, not touching anything. Conveyor belts. Everything is changed around in this one. No. Yeah, like I said, this is probably one of the most popular games on here. Oh, there's no indication for the hammer like there is in the actual Donkey Kong. Anyways. And this is Crazy Kong Fixed, so maybe there was something wrong with Crazy Kong and they fixed it. Yeah, that's one of the ones with the genitals. Yeah, I'll most likely go through this and do that sometime. Um, I'm gonna have to now that I'm doing the cinematic. I don't want the wheel to be all screwy, so I'll make wheels for all the games and it'll be pretty simple. I mean, all I have to do is just like for Burger Time, let's say, I figure out what the HS means. I find out, and that happens when you start the game. It says it right there on the little menu. It says Burger Time H. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not for all of them, but um, figure out what the things mean, and then make some generic text for each game and place it at the bottom. So it'll say Burger Time. It'll have the Burger Time wheel, the normal one, but just underneath it, it'll have generic text explaining what it is. And then make the video snaps for each one, make the XML for the wheel, and then make a theme, because I don't like the theme. Well, the background, I like the theme here because it matches my other arcade themes when you go in the wheel. But, get something together so that people can actually use this thing, because I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I could edit the XML for the better name on the bottom. That's another thing, and that would make it easier when I make the wheels. That's probably the first thing I should do is the XML. Yeah. But I definitely want to make wheels because that's what makes the thing look good when you go into the menu here. Anywho, you get the point of that system, and I've been keeping this on here for on my systems for a while. I just never dealt with it, never tried to fix it up. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what I want to play right now. Yeah, no problem. I obviously won't be able to dish out the ROMs. I mean, I probably could, not get in trouble for it, but I'd prefer not to. But they're not hard to find. They're actually easier to find than the MAME ROMs. Um, I have had a rough few days, let me tell you. I I spend most of my time now lately trying to get the cinematics done as quick as possible because I really don't like spending that much time on those because I feel like I'm severely neglecting the rocket launcher stuff, which I am at the moment. So I've been kind of pushing myself to get them the ones I need done. And then Father's Day, of course, went to the zoo with my brother and his girlfriend and their kid. And then I had my kids with us, and we were there from 9:30 when they opened until 6 or something when they closed. And then, damn, I don't even remember. What did we do the day before that? Oh, the day before that, we went to Dave and Buster's. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's a huge arcade and food place. And my parents wound up spending like $400 on us so we can eat and play arcade games. And then today we go to play miniature golf. Which ones do I have left? I'll show you which ones that I definitely know I'm gonna do. It's HB MAME is the one I'm working on now. And then, what else is there? Oh, Neo Geo Pocket is the other one. And then PC games is another one I'm gonna do. Yeah, you ain't kidding. That place is expensive. I wasn't that impressed with their food either, but their games are awesome. So those three definitely. So PC games, Neo Geo Pocket, and what was the third one I said? Shoot, I forgot. HP MAME. So once I finish HP MAME, there's really only two that I feel like I have to do. But then there's also the fact that I really, really, really want to do a Daphne one. Like, this is one that I want to do. So I'm kind of questioning whether or not I'm going to do Daphne. Uh, but that's really it. Yeah, I need to make the PC games one. See, the problem with the ones that I have left, I saved the Neo Geo Pocket and the PC games ones for last for a particular reason. Neo Geo Pocket is gonna look strange because Pocket Color, the one that I made, has the BIOS on it. Um, so if I put, see this BIOS screen, which freaking took me 2 days to make this damn thing. This 6 seconds of film, 6 seconds of video took me 2 days to make. Um, so I have the BIOS on there, and when you turn on a regular Neo Geo Pocket, a non-color one, it has the same exact BIOS, but I can't do the same thing because then it's going to look like the same system twice in a row. So I'm kind of thinking of what I want to do now with it. And then as for PC games, not everyone has the same PC games. And I was thinking about like, what am I gonna put on there that everyone can use? But then I was like, today I was like, you know what? I'll do PC games next, and I will just put what I have as far as game snaps and artwork and stuff. I'll just use what I have on my PC games, and if people can use it, then they can use it. If they can't, they can't. I mean, I have a generally wide selection, and I'll probably wind up using artwork that's pretty common. Um, but I don't know. I haven't really dove into it all the way yet as to what I'm gonna do. I mean, obviously, there's some games that are not so popular, and other ones that are more popular. So, because I've never been a fan of the in color for the color version, maybe. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like when you make a BIOS for the themes, you want to make it as close to the original as possible, and you don't want to stray from that. And now, yeah, it would not have the red, the feathering at the top, the three little lines. They would be black on the regular one. That's really the only difference between the two BIOSes. But I'll figure something out. I've been kind of putting it on the back burner and waiting till I can think of something. Same thing for PC, I guess. I don't know. Uh, but I've never been a fan of the theme itself. Is nice. I like how it comes together. But the video, I've never been a fan of this video snap, this introduction, because it doesn't seem right. It's like they've got like RTS games and first person shooters, and most people don't have that on their arcade. Most people have side scrollers, platformers, stuff like that for PC games. Yeah, I'll probably do it with a grayish appearance or make it shorter or something. I don't know. But like that, like okay, I can understand the racing game, but and when you find these PC ones, they're all the same. They either use the same video on all of them. Now this makes sense, but even this is kind of weird to see on a PC one. So when I make the cinematic that I make, it's gonna be all platformers and side scrollers and things like that, shmups for PC. That's gonna be in the video preview. It's not gonna have any of these things because they just don't make sense to me at all. Sorry, I'm not putting Call of Duty on my arcade cabinet. You know, I'm not putting Watch Dogs on here. It's not gonna happen. If I want to play those, I play them on my PC. Now, people who have a couch arcade and they sit in their living room and play off their living room television, that makes sense. The video totally makes sense because you will have those kind of games, and you'll have a maybe a 360 or an Xbox One controller hooked up to it. But I'm making these videos for an arcade cabinet, so it doesn't make sense to have that video. So that's something I'll be changing. And I have plenty of side scrollers and stuff in my PC game section to put in there. And obviously it's not going to say Windows, it's going to say PC games. Yeah, I won't put any of these fighting games or anything. Now the question is though, what kind of artwork do I use? Because I'm thinking it may have to do something like the Pinball FX2 video that I did, where as the video snap changes to a different game, the artwork in the theme will change as well. And I was actually thinking, like, if it's like Shovel Knight, okay, the part of the preview comes up for Shovel Knight. I could have Shovel Knight come in, and the background would, whatever the moving background is, the animated background would change to blue. And then if the next one is, where's he at? Super Meat Boy, I have him come in, and the background will change to red, and it'll just kind of change through colors as the artwork and the video changes. So I think that's probably the best way to go about that. I have a feeling that the PC one, the reason I've been kind of saving it, I have a feeling that it's probably going to be the most diverse cinematic that I've made. It's going to have more stuff going on than any other theme that I've done because there's so much with PC games. So, but I'll see when I do it. Speaking of PC games, I still have like tons of games in a folder on the hard drive that I have to install. Like part 2 of this for one. I got Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and a few others. I don't know, but I'm almost done with the cinematics, so I technically only got 3 to go or something, 2 to go after the one I'm doing now. So it's funny. I'll tell you something. It's funny when I'm looking for the artwork and looking for the stuff to do these cinematics. I've never looked for this kind of artwork before or these kind of things. Um, I'll show you something really quick, and then after I tell you this, I found this song while looking for a song earlier for HB Main. I found the song that he uses for this one. I also found these curtains, the opening curtains. I found that animated image that he used. So I find things that he uses for his cinematics, James, and it's funny when I run into him. I'm like, wait, I know that's from that theme. And without even knowing it, I'll show you something here. The Nintendo DS, he had, I doubt it. See these flame things in the background? The waves of fire? Or whatever you want to call it. He had those on this DS theme long before I started making themes. Um, and even the color, okay? So it's like a gold color. And then I made my, not even knowing it, I made my TurboGrafx CD theme and used the same exact waves that he did. In the same color and everything. That's not the color that they come in. You have to chroma, you have to color correct them in the editing software. And we both color corrected to the same color. And I didn't even know that until I was like, I did this theme. It was done. I put it out there. Like a couple days later, I'm going through. I'm like, I see the DS one because my son was sitting here to play, and I'm like, wait a second, that's the same thing I used in the other theme. So yeah, it's a small world. I mean, I used excuse me. Like I said, it's been a rough few days. I used a smoke mask around the front of mine though, so it kind of drowns it out a little bit. But it's still the same thing. Then I started questioning everything else, like what else did I use that he used? But I don't think I ran into anything else. Excuse me. But I can tell you that after doing this now, and doing, I think I've done like 13 of them, and I'll be going back once I finish the ones I'm doing. I'm going back over a couple of them, like M Justin 9. He's also Ninja to be seen in the forums. He brought up the fact that there's the Pinball FX2 BIOS screen when it's loading up Pinball FX2, when the symbol goes like flames into existence or whatever on the screen. And I said, oh yeah, I thought, oh yeah, that's actually true. I should have put that before it. That would have looked really cool. And I didn't. So I'm gonna go back over that theme and add that to that theme for Pinball FX2. And then I'm gonna go over Fightcade because that was the very first one I did, and there were a lot of newbie mistakes that I made that now I know how to do them correctly and better. So I'm gonna go back over the Fightcade cinematic and fix that up a little bit better so that it goes in line with the rest of my cinematics. And I'll tell you truthfully, of all my cinematics that I've done, I cannot stand the Mugen one. I really don't like it. I kind of put it together because I couldn't think of what to do. And I love the fight between Batman and Iron Man in the video on the top. And I put a hell of a lot of work into getting the two, Akuma and what's his name on the left side. My mind is going blank. Into getting those to work right. I put a lot of work into it, but I don't like the outcome, so I'm probably going to use the same stuff, just in a different way. I don't like the metal frame, let's put it that way. I don't like how that looks, so I'm going to change it up some and see what I can do with the Mugen one. And plus it doesn't fit with my other ones. It doesn't look right. It's something about it just doesn't feel right, so those three I'm going to go back over. But definitely the Fightcade one, because I'm just like, it's it's not as it's not as good as my other ones. I mean, I don't mean to sound like an asshole saying that, but really that's how I feel. I mean, it's lacking. So the general idea of the Fightcade one is going to stay the same. It's just going to be a little bit flashier in areas. I don't like the plain white background. I don't like a few things about it. So, plus, I'll show you something about it that I don't know if people have noticed, but there's a scene in the video where, see, I think this could look so much cooler if it had like a dark blue kind of electricity background behind it and the white was faded out. But anyway, so there's a video in here where Zangief is fighting Ryu or Ken, one of the two, and it plays for a short time and it ends, and then later in the video it comes back on again, and that has always bugged me since I made this thing. It's bugged me. And when you do these things, you think, oh God, did people notice that? So this part right here, you see him fighting Zangief, and I have no idea how the hell it happened, because I don't put the same snap in there twice. But it happened. We'll see in a second. Right there. And it flashes when the video starts for the second time too, and ends. So there's some errors in there, some things that, like I said, yeah, it's a test. It was a test version, and I wound up having to pull it from the download and fix something, and then put it back up, and then pull it again and fix something. And there's just too many things to fix, so I figured I'll save it. I'll keep doing them. I'll get better, and then near the end, I'll fix it for good, and I'll know how to do things a little better. Oh, there's stuff in a lot of my themes that are so tiny that no one would notice but me, because I know what it's supposed to look like. I'll ruin another one for you. Hang on. Okay, so another reason why I have to go over the Pinball FX2 one again is to fix this tiny little mistake. This one took 4 hours to render, and I didn't notice this mistake until after I already uploaded it, and then it became a question of, do I take it down and re-render it, taking the mistake out, or do I just leave it up there and hope no one ever notices? It's so fast, I don't even know if the stream's gonna pick it up or not. But when the aliens come out for the alien pinball table, they're fine. But when they go away, when they shift off to the left for a very minute second, you can see the black alien come back on the screen again before Ghost Rider comes out. And see, nobody would probably really notice that. But since I know how it's supposed to look, I noticed it immediately. So if you watch when the aliens leave, that black one's going to pop back on just for a tiny little second. He popped in right there. And I don't know if it caught it on the stream, but yeah, it bugs the hell out of me knowing that it's there. And what that is the Ghost Rider picture that I used was the other direction. And I couldn't use it coming in, the Ghost Rider one coming in from the right. I had to have him come in from the left. And so what I did was, when I was preparing the picture in the editing software, I just turned it 180 so that it was facing the other direction in the editing software. Instead of using Photoshop to do it, I just did it there because it was easier. And it turned into more problems because then the artwork before it was flipping as well. It was trying to flip the other way. So that's what you see is the alien's tail because it flipped just so that the Ghost Rider can be the other direction. So it should have been off the screen more before Ghost Rider came on, and it wasn't. So it was off the screen where it needed to be when the alien was facing forward. But as soon as that alien flipped and did the 180, his tail was longer and stuck out on the screen still. Anyways, I don't know if that's just rambling and too much information, but yeah, that's got to be fixed. You know, that's why they have version numbers, I guess, for this kind of stuff. I don't think that there's any other, like, these I went over with a fine-tooth comb before I put them out. So I'm pretty sure there's no errors on here. There's no glitchiness or anything. Yeah, and the messed up thing is when you're rendering stuff in the software, or you're creating things, using Sony Vegas, you only get a 1 second gap. Or, I'm sorry, it's a 1/10 of a second gap. So you can see what happens every 1/10 of a second. But if something happens within that 1/10 of a second to the next one, you don't see it until after the render. You can only skip by tenths. And that's what sucks. And that just happened to happen right in that, between that 1/10 of a second. This one, a little bit of an issue with this one. I didn't know how to do the chroma correctly. Oh, no, I fixed it. Never mind. I actually fixed this and re-uploaded it. So this one's fine. Even though James Baker's coming out with his version anyways, and mine will get ignored. I don't think there was anything wrong with this one either. I started going over them pretty good, and I thought I caught everything with the Pinball FX one. I got it in first at least. No, that's fine. It's a different crowd. You know, even if Launchbox people don't use my theme for Super Famicom because James Baker makes one, that's what he's there for. He's there to make them for Launchbox. That's what he does. There's the Hyperspin community that still uses mine though, so it's fine. People who don't use Launchbox. I mean, I've been uploading my themes to the Hyperspin website, and Avar just gave me my own section for my stuff. I'm gonna be putting all of my rocket launcher work into their new FTP, and they're gonna put that into Hyper AI, which is their new download software they're coming out with, where you can basically just set it to download all the stuff for your Hyperspin setup automatically. There is one thing about this. I was pretty happy with this one. I did make a lot of mistakes, but I went and fixed them for the most part and re-released the video. But the one thing that does bug me about this one is the crash from the meteor happens about a half a second too late. So it's like it already lands, and then yeah, a one-click setup. I think they had that going for their other hyper update thing. I don't remember what it was called, but I never used that thing. I always preferred to do it myself because I noticed that sometimes when I use that, well, all the time when I used it, it would overwrite like some of my main themes and stuff like that if they were a different size. And I know that Hyperspin had some themes in their database that were corrupted, like Frog or Pac-Man or something was corrupted. Yeah, and so it was replacing my theme, and I would come across this theme and it would be corrupted every time and crash Hyperspins. So I had a lot of plans for this one. By the way, I spent an entire afternoon making a story in comic book panels. Um, and it had like I had everything laid out. It had a comic book panel come up on the screen, um, and it had one of the flowers and a couple other good guys, a pea shooter and something else, and they were like smiling in the yard, standing there. And then another little comic book panel comes up, and it shows a zombie's hand coming out of the ground. And then another one flashes where the pea shooter's mad, and then another one where the other thing was mad, and then another one where the flower is scared, and then it changes the page, and it shows the street with a bunch of zombies on it, and another panel comes up where Dave is standing there and he's scared, the guy from the game, and then on the bottom it flashes to be continued. And at the end of the theme, I was going to put what happens, and I never figured it out because by the time I had laid all that out in Sony Vegas, I liked how it looked. I liked it so much that I decided I wasn't going to do it because I would save that idea for like a comic book one. So that's an idea that I'm kind of throwing around. Maybe doing one for comic books, one for uh, movies and stuff like that. I wouldn't personally use it, but since I have the idea in my head, then why not do it? I'm gonna ruin all these for you. Even that one, his fingers start moving before the guitar music starts. But this was a 6 hour render, and I wasn't about to change that and render for 6 more hours just for like a second of finger strumming because everything else came out fine. Yeah, there's a lot of little things with these that maybe I'll fix. Maybe I'll just leave it as is. I really need to finish these up though, because I got to get back to the rocket launcher thing. It was never intended as a serious thing for me. I was just kind of throwing them together, and then I learned things as I went and kind of got a little bit better at doing them. But it's not like a permanent thing for me. I really don't want to. I talked to James Baker about it, and he said that he hasn't really slept in a long time because he's been doing these things. And I don't really look forward to that. I don't sleep enough as it is because of the rocket launcher stuff. Yeah, I saw yours. You use the commercials. I thought about actually making a generic theme kind of thing where you can use them on each system, and yeah, um, to where it would have like a television or something for each console. It had a television, and then it would play commercials for that particular system. Since I already have them for most of the systems for the rocket launcher stuff, I figure I use them for themes, and then have it be like sort of like that. The one guy who makes those with the white background, and it's just got like the console with the controllers and stuff around it and stuff with the TV. I forget the nostalgia set. Kind of like that, but like the cinematic, more cinematic, more the background. Have them all look kind of similar but different colors, and playing commercials. I thought about doing that. It's something different, but if I start doing something like that, then I'm going to be stuck making 100 of those things. And I'm not ready for that. No. Like I said, this isn't a permanent thing. Cinematics are not my thing. I may know how to do them, but I really don't want to. Let's put it that way. I don't want to be stuck doing these things. I love doing the rocket launcher stuff, and don't get me wrong, this is a nice break from the rocket launcher stuff because I was really kind of getting bogged down, um, coming off of the Scum VM and the Genesis soundtracks and all that stuff. It was nonstop for that, and then looking ahead at MS DOS, I was like, oh god, that's a lot of games, that's a lot of stuff. So I needed something to take my mind off of it for a little while. But that's all this is. Yeah, the problem is there's a lot of people who don't even use rocket launcher, and that's unfortunate. But the crowd for rocket launcher is not that big, and it's funny because to me because it's like some people say it's too difficult to set up. I don't find that to be the case at all. It's pretty easy to set up. Um, it's free. I mean, you can't beat free, and it adds a lot to the front ends. And I don't get it. I don't understand why so many people shun the program. There's one guy in particular. I won't mention his name, but there's one guy in particular who really hates rocket launcher. Like I don't get it. Whenever someone brings it up, he's like, no, you can use it for whatever, but I would never use that program. It doesn't do anything for me. And it's like, oh my god. Okay, well, if you don't like it, don't use it, but don't turn other people off to it. That's just kind of rude. I mean, whatever. Yeah, I know. People are too worried about getting all the rocket launcher features put into the front ends, but they don't realize the front ends are better off focusing on the front end instead of adding things from other programs. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. For instance, people want a fade in Launchbox. I think it's time better spent for Jason to come up with other ideas that deal directly with the front end than dealing with handshake ideas like fades and stuff like that. It's silly, especially when there's a program out there that already handles it perfectly fine. They just don't want to use it for some reason. I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, if they don't want to use it, they don't want to use it. And I think part of the problem is they set their stuff up through, let's say, Launchbox. They set it up already, and they don't want to have to deal with setting it up again through Rocket Launcher. But the funny thing about that is they don't have to. The way Rocket Launcher is it imports your stuff automatically. Once you set it up in your front end, if it's already set up in your front end, all you do is point Rocket Launcher to your front end and it'll import it all your systems. It's automatic. So yeah, yeah. I just realized this whole time I haven't had chat in the window. I probably won't repost this live stream anyways. Too much drama for my channel. I don't like drama. It's bad enough I had to bite my tongue earlier when they were just ripping on Hyperspin in the Launchbox live stream. No, it's somebody else there creeping. But they were just ripping on Hyperspin, and I really couldn't. I almost turned off the live stream because of it. It's not that I care about Hyperspin more than Launchbox. Because I've said a few things about Hyperspin in the past myself. I understand when frustration comes in. I understand when things don't happen for a couple of years and then all of a sudden people pop up and act like Hyperspin's going to be the next biggest thing. It very well might be. They might have things ready to go that they just haven't mentioned yet that's going to bring Hyperspin back on the map. Who knows? But what I can't stand is when people sit there and blatantly say, "Oh, Hyperspin is crap. Hyperspin is a Launchbox is way better than Hyperspin," and this and that. And I really had to bite my tongue earlier because I don't want to make any enemies in this thing. Just trying to say something, speak my mind, and I wanted to point out the fact that Launchbox might have weekly development sessions. Um, but they're also funded rather well. And that's the thing. They pull in money. Hyperspin is free. Sure, you have to pay to get on the website, but you don't have to pay to use the program. And Hyperspin is free, and it's always been free. And Rocket Launcher, the companion to Hyperspin, which used to be Hyperlaunch, is free. And that's the main difference. When you have funding, you're going to have a development session every week. 2 times a week. Because that's your job. And it was said that Hyperspin treats it like a hobby, whereas Launchbox treats it like a job. Of course, because Launchbox, Jason Carr is getting paid. Avar is not getting paid. He gets paid from new memberships to the website, but you know what? At this point in time, after the long stint where they weren't doing anything for Hyperspin, I guarantee you the website slowed down in traffic quite a bit. And plus, you get so many of these. That's testament to how big Hyperspin is. There are hundreds of Hyperspin setups out there already pre-made, ready for download. It may not be the top front end right now, but it held that trophy for a long time. And those pre-made systems are out there. I'm not talking about the hard drives. I'm talking about browsing through YouTube and finding whatever it is you're looking for Hyperspin. It's all out there. So you don't even need a membership anymore to the Hyperspin forum unless you're looking for something brand spanking new. And sadly enough, even that'll get released in a setup a month from now. You know? So Hyperspin's not really pulling in any money. It's done for the love of the front end itself. Yeah, exactly. It's platinum in its lifetime. $25 for lifetime platinum on their website. That's what you pay, and you don't even have to pay it. You can download Hyperspin. You can get most of the stuff you need without paying that money. Um, but Launchbox, you can't even use Big Box without paying money. You cannot even use their front end without paying money. And if you don't want to pay every year, now don't get me wrong, I'm not bad mouthing Launchbox. Jason can do what he wants to do with his program, and he's doing rather well, and he's keeping up with it. But my point is, he's getting paid to do it. So he's getting whenever he comes online for his development session, he's coming online because he got paid this week through Launchbox. He even admitted it earlier that he makes plenty from Launchbox. They're pretty well off with the money they make from Launchbox. Yeah. Are you referring to Hyperspin or Launchbox doing a monthly fee? Oh, really? Oh, you know what? I don't see that happening at all. I don't see Hyperspin. Hyperspin's been around for what? Geez, 7 years, 6, 7 years. I don't see them charging for Hyperspin at all. Um, I don't even see them charging for Hyper AI because if they were going to do that, they would have let Avar would have let me know already because I'm going to have an entire section for my rocket launcher stuff on there when Hyper AI is out. So he would have told me that they're charging for it. And frankly, if they're charging for Hyper I wouldn't want to put my stuff there anyways. So maybe that's why he didn't tell me. But I don't think that they would. They're not in any position to charge right now. That's why. Launchbox is in a position to charge because they've done it from day one. Well, they didn't do it from day one. They used to be free, but Launchbox is in a better position to charge money because of the method. Jason Carr's a smart business person. I'll give him that. Where he went down a path that led him to where he's at now with the success. Um, Hyperspin can't just all of a sudden start charging for their program because nobody's going to buy it. Nobody's going to do that. People would rather go with something similar like Retro FE or Attract Mode or something else. They're not going to pay for that. Not saying it wouldn't be worth it. I'm just saying that it's pointless when there's other software out there that is still free that can almost do what it does. So, but I mean, I don't know exactly what they would charge for other than the Hyper AI. That's it, and I don't see that happening. It's so weird. It won't let me change the text. It bothers me, even though I said I'm not gonna re-upload this one. It's weird that it won't let me put in the YouTube chat in the video now. Yeah, it's doing fine. Oh, jeez. Now that you mention it, there's a freaking piece of a cookie in the trackball. That's what happens when you have kids. My 5-year-old discovered that the little plate comes off the trackball extremely easily because he likes to pull it off there and he's going to lose it one day. I thought that was kind of strange that it just pops right off like that. But, it's holding up. I mean, I wish it was a bit more responsive when I'm playing, like, fighting games and stuff, but I don't know if that's just lag from my screen or because I have it hooked up through the streaming stuff, or if it's lag from the controls. It's hard to tell. But at least nothing else has broken yet. You haven't got one yet? Yeah, it uses the iPad Mini. Which kind of sucks because Rocket Launcher can switch the profiles of the sticks on a per game basis, which would be awesome because I would no longer have to use AHK files for what I have to do. But unfortunately, it only does it for iPad 4 because the software only does that for iPad 4s. Rocket Launcher talks to the iPad software and tells it what to change, but you can't use the iPad 4's. It uses different software for the Mini and the 4. So I was thinking eventually I might switch it out for an iPad 4. I don't know yet though. I think the iPad 4 is the 4-player one. I might be wrong. Oh yeah, definitely. All it is just it's just like a microchip board with the connectors on it, and all you do is just unplug. If you go one by one, it's real simple. You just unplug button 1 and then plug it into button 1 on the new one. Button 2, plug it into button 2, and then you do up, down, left, right, each one of those, and you swap it out completely, and then you just plug it in USB into your computer and you're set. But you can definitely swap them out. It takes less time to swap out the board than it does to swap out the joystick. Joystick's a pain in the butt. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Then what is that? 8, 19, 11, 12, 24, 48, plus 8. Yeah, it's a 4-player. It should be. Because it probably has 6. No, I would imagine 7 for player 1 and 2. So 7, 14, plus 8 is 22, and then 4 and 4. So 30, 38. Huh. That's an awful lot of inputs. You would really only need about 38 for the joysticks and the buttons. Let's see, and then 4 for the trackball, I think it is. So 42. And a spinner uses 3 or 4. Still too many inputs. I don't really see why you need that many inputs on an iPad 4, but hey, why not? Maybe a 4-way joystick or something. See, the thing about the iPad 4 is, the iPads in general, you can program them to where you can use those inputs for anything. So even though it says like player 1, button 2, button 3, button 4, if you plug in a joystick, like a 4-way joystick to that, you can change it in the software to be your up, down, left, right for the 4-way. So if you have extra inputs, like if it's got enough inputs for 8 buttons on player 1 and you only use 6 buttons, that leaves you 2 inputs on the board. And so if you do that for player 1 and 2, that leaves you 4 inputs total, which means a 4-way joystick. So, which is something I would love to put on here, is a 4-way joystick. But yeah, I need to get an iPad 4 because I'd like to be able to switch out profiles through Rocket Launcher for especially the PC games and stuff, and not have to worry about making an AHK file. That's why I haven't put the new PC games in here yet, because I know I'm dreading the fact that I have to make an AHK file and map out all the buttons on it before it'll even work. I mean, and then it has to load that AHK file as well as the rocket launcher modules and stuff. So, oh, the switching profiles, that's easy actually. It's just it's the same as using like XPatter profiles. Um, you're just making the iPad profiles, placing them into the rocket launcher, the appropriate rocket launcher folders for your PC game, and set it up in the rocket launcher main settings. It says where is your iPad program. You point it to your program, and then it'll pull the profiles for those games automatically. Oh, just the switching of the board? Oh, that probably takes like 3 or 4 minutes. It'd probably take longer for me to take the stick off of here and open it than it would to actually switch the board. But yeah, I can do a video of that. I don't know when it's going to happen. I have other things on my list to buy, but it'll eventually happen. I'll be right back. I'm going to step out for a second. I need to stand up anyways. I'm getting numb. Yeah, all that free time. I'll be right back. All right. So, um, real quick here, my my girlfriend called off work for Father's Day so that we could spend the day at the zoo. And so we go to the zoo, and we got me and her and my two kids, and we wanted to see the new. They got a dinosaurs and dragons thing, and it was pretty cool. It was giant animatronic dragons and dinosaurs and stuff. Um, but the cost of getting into the zoo and my zoo story chased someone away. The cost of getting in there and seeing that exhibit and all that was going to be about $90. Okay, and then we noticed that they had a all year pass for the entire year, and it was $140. And what it allowed you to do was to see all of the major attractions. You can go in for free. No, not cheap at all. You can go in for free to those. It allowed you to come in anytime in the next year. Free admission, free parking. In the giant parking lot, not the nice one, but the giant parking lot. And you can bring two kids and one guest, all getting in for free. And they give you 8 passes so you can bring 8 more people throughout that year if you want. They also give you 8 attraction passes so those people that you bring can see an attraction for free. So it's a pretty good deal. And we're like, yeah, well, you know what? We can come back a bunch of times because I love the zoo. Like, that's my favorite place to go. Forget Great America and all that stuff. I like the zoo. So we're like, yeah, we can come back a bunch of times. It'll pay for itself. So we got it. And it was, like I said, $140 for this thing. And so we get to the first attraction, and we were able to get in. No problem. And then we get to the dinos and dragons exhibit thing, and we go up to the door, show him the pass, and he's like, oh no, the pass doesn't work for this. And we're like, he said it was for all the attractions. And he's like, no, that's only the unlimited year round. You have the premium year round. And we're like, oh, it figures. But at least we got 50% off the price. We wound up paying, for me and her and the two kids, was $8 to see the attraction instead of 16 or whatever. But turns out we can't see seasonal attractions. We can only see year-round attractions for free. And then after we did this, okay, so we spent $140 on these passes. And then we're inside and we're getting drinks. And so we got these slushy things. Yeah, exactly. The guy should have told us that when we were talking about the dragons thing at the gate when we were buying these tickets. Scare another person away with my zoo talk. Anyways, so we go to get drinks, and we get slushies, and they have these barbell cups. And if you get a regular cup, it's 16 ounces, which it didn't look like 16 ounces at all. It looked like an 8-ounce cup, but if you get a 16-ounce cup, it was $5. If you get the barbell cup, which was 16 ounces supposedly, it's $6, but you get half-price refills all day long. So we're like, well, shoot, let's get that. And so we got 3 barbell cups and spent $18 to get them, okay? And then we're drinking these slushies, and it's like, first of all, it's a barbell. It looks like a barbell. It's a ball on the bottom and a ball on the top. It was almost impossible to drink these things out of these cups. I don't know what they were thinking. And it was, there was like, they went in no time. Like, it was so hot out that we drank them like nothing. So we went to get refills, and I'm like, wait a second. They have cups for pop, for soda, that give you unlimited refills all year long. So you buy the cup once, and every time you come back, if you bring that cup, you get free pop. As much as you want to drink. And they don't just have pop, they have lemonade and tea and ice water if you want it, all of it. So that's a pretty good deal. How much is it? And she said $15. $15 for one cup. So we thought about it for a second and we're like, okay, we got the year pass, we might as well get the cups. That way we can bring them with whenever we go and get free pop too. So we get free admission into the zoo and we get free drinks. So why not? Just take advantage of the whole thing. So we got 3 of the cups. We spent $45 on 3 plastic cups. Okay? And that's not to mention the fact that we already spent $18 on the slushy things, which aren't year-round. That's only for that one day, but we didn't have any intention on refilling them after that because they were garbage. But so here we spent $185 so that we can get into the zoo. This leads to something in a second, trust me. So we can get into the zoo whenever we want for free and get drinks as much as we want to drink for free. After all was said and done, and we got home. Actually, it wasn't until the next day. I thought about it. She had to call off work for us to go to the zoo that day. For us to take advantage of this, she would have to actually call off work every time for her to go. So was it really worth it? Probably not. So we may have very well wasted $180. Now, I mean, we only have one car. She takes it to work. So I could drop her off at work and take the kids to the zoo. But it's kind of a big hassle, and then she won't be able to go. So it just kind of was like, well, whatever. But we got some pretty darn expensive plastic cups now. I had to tell the kids, do not use these cups for anything. These are the zoo cups. But yeah, I love going to the zoo. Anyways, so I was going to mention, if there's one thing that since I started making the cinematics that has happened, is my YouTube channel has been bleeding. And it's the weirdest thing. Like, I was getting on average, I mean, I wasn't doing spectacular or anything, but I was averaging about 5 to 8 subscribers every day. People started thinking that I was done with Rocket Launcher, which obviously I'm not. Which was kind of silly to me because I have a track record on YouTube for the past year of releasing Rocket Launcher stuff, and it's not like I would just stop without letting people know. And I always update people and let them know what's going on, but I guess because I didn't update people and let them know, officially, I've said it on Facebook, I said it on Patreon, I said it in a few places that this was just temporary. I said it in comments, many things, but people kind of don't read those things, or they ignore them or whatever. And so since I started doing these, it went from 8 subscribers a day to 0 because it balances out now. It's pretty much, I'll get 3 subscribers and lose 3. I'll get 2 and then 1 a couple hours later and lose 1 and lose 3 a couple hours later. It's really, really weird. I've never, even when I wasn't even putting out Rocket Launcher stuff, I've never seen something like this happen on my channel. Back when I had 150 subscribers before Simply Austin said anything about me or anything like that, I've never seen anything like this happen on my channel, and it's kind of painful, but I don't know. Yeah, it is weird because I think a lot of people are assuming that I'm done with Rocket Launcher, like I said, but I'm not. But they assume it. So they're just like, I don't need cinematics. His channel's worthless now. So they leave. Um, really, the amount of subscribers I have doesn't matter to me. It doesn't. If somebody's going to leave because I take a short break and put out cinematics that you want to keep, you're not concerned about the other ones. I mean, you're concerned about them, but if they leave, they leave. You're not going to fight for them. You know, that's just the feeling that I have. I mean, if people think that I gave up on Rocket Launcher and they want to leave, then in a few weeks when I come out with another Rocket Launcher pack, either they'll be back or they'll miss out. I mean, because there's only one real way that I provide my Rocket Launcher stuff. I mean, it'll be on the Hyperspin thing, but that doesn't change. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's the ones that are active. Those are the ones that I would hate to see go. You know, I have a certain list of my subscribers that I know are there, that will comment, that will talk, that will give feedback, and I know who they are. And then there's I would say I'm at 1568 right now, and I would say confidently out of those 1568 subscribers, I probably have about 15 of them that actually comment regularly, give feedback, and care about what I'm doing. At least they express it. You know, there may be others that care, but they don't express it. You know, and if there's one thing that's gravely important to a YouTuber, that is their feedback. It's extremely important. So, I mean, there's not much I can do about people leaving. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and that's all I've ever done. I'm gonna do I'm gonna work on what I'm working on. You know, I'm not gonna work on something. Oh my God, I'm losing subscribers. I better stop doing cinematics and work on Rocket Launcher. You know, I'm not like that. If they want to leave, they'll leave. If they want to stay and wait, then they stay and wait. I'm gonna put out my stuff regardless. You know. Exactly, man. Well, I'm not really stressing. It's just kind of just bringing it up because it's kind of silly to me how people are, how people act. Well, not necessarily act. I don't know how they're acting. I don't even know how to put it. Just how people can be when you're not doing something that they want is kind of silly. You know, and it's like I see people complain about um how do I say this without giving any names or anything, too much information. I see someone complain about somebody else for something they've done when the other person has always done nothing but the same stuff I'm doing. I don't know if this is even making sense. There's somebody out there who has worked their ass off for people and provided them with free stuff, worked and worked and worked, and gave their work away for free, which is what I do. I do the same thing. And then they make a decision where they no longer want to do it for free. And I'm pretty sure you probably know who I'm talking about already, but don't say the name. They make a decision where they no longer want to do it for free. They want to move on from that because they didn't get enough appreciation for what they did. And then people hate them for that because they can't get their stuff for free anymore. It's crazy. You know, I'm not saying I would ever do that. I'm not saying that I would personally move on like that, but I was just telling my girlfriend the other day, you know, if one of these front ends were to approach me and say, "Hey, we would like to have you be exclusive to us, and we're willing to pay you such and such. If it was for Rocket Launcher, I would say no. But if it was for cinematics, let's say, I'd say sure, why not? Yeah. And that's that. Therein lies the problem. When I say sure, why not, and then I actually do it, then those people who are getting my cinematics for free might think, oh, well, now I have to go and pay for this program to get them, or I shouldn't have to do that. No, that's not the case. I could just not make them in the first place. I'm just kind of rambling here, but I get a little peed off when people expect things. I love making this stuff, and I love the fact that I can give it to people and that they don't have to pay for it. I do. But at the same time, I got a family. I have to put food on the table. I have to pay bills just like everybody else. So when a situation arises to where something extracurricular on my channel, like cinematics, and somebody wants to pay me for it, I'm not saying this is even happening either, and I'm not saying that it would, but I'm just saying hypothetically, someone wants to pay me for it, then yeah, I would love to get money for what I do, And Patreon is a way of doing that. So that's why when it comes to Rocket Launcher, I would never do it. I would never take a deal with anybody about being strictly for their front end, because I already have people supporting me on Patreon, and I would never turn my back on that. I started that. That's the way I'm going to go. I don't care if I only make, I think it's up to $33 a month, which is perfectly fine. I when I started it, I said I only wanted to hopefully get up to 20, so I can pay for the download service, not out of my pocket. And I got that, so it's great. And I even have enough now to pay for the upgrade on the website. So when I start working on that again after the cinematics and MS-DOS stuff, and I really start pushing out my website stuff, I can pay for the premium website, which gets rid of the Weebly tag off of it, and it'll just be retrohumanoid.com. And I'll be able to put a lot more stuff on there to make it look a lot cooler. So there's two things that I'm able to do now because of Patreon. So really, that's all I expected was, well, I don't want to say that. I didn't expect anything, but I expected to come out of it like just enough to improve my work, or to at least take the stress away of having to worry about a $20 a month download service, because there were a couple times where it was down for a few days because we didn't have the money in the bank, Oh, that was you. I was like, is that Brian? Is that the same Brian? Okay. Well, thank you. I wasn't sure if it was the same one, because it's a different. It's got the last name there. I really have to figure out because sometimes people don't want their last name mentioned elsewhere, So I put it in the comments of for the premium ones. I put it in the comments. Not saying that all the patrons aren't important, but that was part of the rewards. If they're a premium one, I think it's $5 or more a month, they get mentioned in the comments of every release video. So, but I really feel like if I put their real name there, which is what Patreon shows me is their real name, that I'm doing them a disservice, because they have a different name on YouTube. I don't know how to handle that, though. Patreon's new to me, so I'm learning as I go with Patreon. It's when you're actually inside your own Patreon and you're dealing with the rewards page and stuff like that, it can get a bit confusing as to, it has options on there that are completely unnecessary, but you don't know they're unnecessary until you actually read into them, and it's a lot of mumbo jumbo going on in there. But I've read it top to bottom. I didn't want to start Patreon without knowing what I was doing first. Yeah, I know they have, and they have different things too. It's like it asks if you want one-time donations or monthly payments or get paid per video release, and I'm like, God, like what would be like the best thing to ask? I mean, I wasn't gonna do the per video release because, especially now, 13 videos, people would be going broke. I mean, you could set a limit though. You could say like no more than this amount per month, but I feel like the per video thing is actually really uh what's the word I'm looking at? I think it's rude to ask that. You know, because what if your video's not good, or what if it's like a 2 minute video or something, and the person just paid $5 for that? You know, it's like I don't really like that one. I think if you're asking for something, you should give quality, and I don't think all of my videos are quality. Like they're like my channel updates. Who wants to pay through Patreon for a channel update video? Like I wouldn't. If it's a release like the Sega Genesis soundtracks, sure, here's $5. But you know, for a channel update, no. Yeah, if it was just like tutorials and stuff, which after I finish the MS DOS, I'm gonna be pumping a lot of those out for the website. Those aren't gonna go on YouTube. Well, they're gonna be on YouTube, but they're gonna be unlisted. All of my tutorials, from now on that I make are gonna go straight to my website, and maybe get some more traffic going through there. Um, and I have that tab specifically for tutorials for each thing. So each tab is going to get filled up with the pictures and video tutorials and text and everything. I'm going to try to dumb it down as much as possible so that anyone who visits those tutorial pages will get exactly the information they need um, in a simplified way. You know, kind of the step by step routine, but the steps in between those steps too. It's going to take a while to do that, but I'm hoping that I'm really hoping that before the end of the year, all those tutorial pages will be full. I'll be finished with them because making a tutorial is kind of tough. Well, not tough, but it's tougher than normal videos. You know, there has to be a script. There has to be planning. Um, Getting footage of the different things that you're doing, and then post editing. Um, it requires a bit more than just sitting down and talking in a video for like a channel update. So that's why I'm hoping by the end of the year I will have all of those pages filled up for the tutorials. And I'll do channel updates on YouTube to let people know when I've filled out a page of tutorials on the website, just to keep people updated, so people don't have to keep checking just to see if it's there or not. But I mean, that website has a lot to go before it's done. Yeah, I'm just trying to take it one piece at a time. I made the chart on the progress page. I actually put a progress page. I was gonna put it on the front page, and I started to do it, but it took too long with what I already had there for the page to load. And that was the home page. And I was like, no, I can't have it take that long to load for a home page. So I made a page by itself for the progress. I just haven't filled it out with the check marks yet, but it's going to have, like it has now, it's got just a chart with all the systems on the left side and the type of artwork that I'm doing, the media that I'm doing for Rocket Launcher on the top. and it'll get filled in with check marks as I'm done. But I mean, I'm still sorting my media out because I had to create an FTP folder for the Hyperspin, the Hyper AI thing, so that when it's time for my media to go there, I can just drag and drop the folders and let it just upload overnight. It'll be ready to go. So I have to have an FTP folder specifically for Hyper AI. I have to have a folder specifically for my personal backups, the way that I have it on my Mega account. And then I was going to have the stuff on Emu Movies as well, because they're two different FTPs. So I have to have a folder for that too. So basically my media is going to be tripled on a 5 terabyte drive. And every time I add something, I have to add it a different way to each one of these folders and then upload it where it has to be. It's a pain in the butt, but I mean, it will allow more ways for people to get the stuff. I wish I could. That's part of the Patreon thing. I don't remember which bracket it was, but when I reach a certain amount per month, I'll be able to start upgrading my hard drives. I have 22 terabytes right now, but free space, I have a 2 terabyte drive being used for my YouTube stuff, because I have to keep all backlogs of my YouTube videos and my media that I use in those videos and so on and so forth. So I have 700 gigs left on that drive. I have a 5 terabyte for my Rocket Launcher drive, which I currently have 3 terabytes left. So that's the Rocket Launcher drive is actually good. I have a movies drive, which is 5 terabytes, and it's full. I have a TV show drive, which is 5 terabytes, and it's full. I have a media drive, which is 5 terabytes, and it's almost full. And by media, I mean anime movies, anime television shows, music, and overflow with movies and television shows. So we like our home media. Let's put it that way. And I also keep my PC game installs on that drive too, for my main computer. So that's 5. I have more than 22 then, because my main drive is a 1 terabyte. It's a 1 terabyte hybrid drive, SSD slash hard drive thing. And then my downloads drive is 1 terabyte. Because, you know, when you download a lot of stuff and then you take it off the drive and erase, and then download more, take it off the drive and erase, that drive eventually goes to shit. It eventually breaks because you're reading and writing so much on that drive. So what I do is I have one drive specifically for downloading stuff with. And I have all my browsers and FTP and my torrent things all pointed to this drive. So everything goes straight there, and then when it's there, I sort it out and place it on the permanent drive that it's going to stay on. So if any drive is going to go, it's going to be my download drive. And there's usually only recent stuff on there. I don't keep anything important on it. So I don't count that as space. But it is a terabyte. So I technically got about 24 terabytes of space. Something like that. But, and I have 4 or 3.5 terabytes inside my arcade machine. And I would love to have, yeah, it is never enough. Seriously. There's never enough space. I had to stop getting stuff. Like, I don't want to say too much here, but I had to stop getting things, even though the girlfriend says, "Can you get this? Can you get that?" I had to stop because if I keep going, I'm not going to have space. So, But I would love to have a like a 4 terabyte, 4 or 5 terabyte inside the arcade as a constant backup. Because right now I have no real backup of my arcade. Like I back up the programs whenever I like once a month. I'll go through and I'll back up the main files from like Hyperspin and Rocket Launcher. Um, Even if I didn't change anything, I'll still back them up. Hypermarquee, um, all the major programs I use. Like with Hyperspin, I'll back up everything but the media folder. But you know, sometimes you get corrupted files and stuff, or the machine will shut down because of a thunderstorm, and then when you turn it back on, something's broken, and it's usually because of the files. And I just copy it back over, and it works. But I keep those backups, but I don't have anything backing up my ROMs or emulators or my media as far as Hyperspin goes. Um, you know, I have my online backup of Rocket Launcher if anything happens to that. But if this drive went out, I would lose all my games from Hyperspin. That would suck. So I'd like to be able to get another drive for that. Um, and then another drive for the Rocket Launcher stuff so that I can make another copy and just leave that on the shelf unplugged so that I have a definite backup, you know. But in time, I guess. I usually wait till our tax return and I make a bunch of upgrades wherever I can. About 6 or 7 years ago, we got three 1 terabyte Hitachi drives, and I was rocking 3 terabytes of space, and I thought that was a lot. And then that went by quickly, and so we got two terabyte external drives, and I'm like, well, I got double what we got, and then plus a terabyte, so it should be plenty of space. Nope, because the thing is, the more space you get, the more stuff you want. So I then had 7 terabytes, but packed. And then we had our fire, and I was able to pull the drives out of the cases because the cases melted a little bit, but um, oh god, yeah, the cases melted a little, so I was able to pry the cases off. Um, yep, exactly. But the drives were kind of thrown around by the firemen, so the drives didn't work. So I lost everything on there, and so we wound up getting a hard drive enclosure that holds 4 hard drives, and we got 4 2 terabyte drives. And this was when I built my new computer, and I filled my computer with 3 more 2 terabyte drives. And so eventually filled those up and had to upgrade out of the 2 terabyte drives and get 3 terabyte drives. And it's just, it increases over and over and over again. And drives break, but you get a new one that's bigger. And I can only, the reason I say all this is I can only imagine how I'm going to be in 5 years. Am I going to have 50 terabytes? You know, because it just keeps getting more and more and more. So I've been kind of slowing down with what I get. And plus Comcast put a cap on our internet, so that kind of helps me slow down too. Although I'll tell you what, at the end of the month, I'm getting my internet's worth. I usually wait until there's like 2 or 3 days left in the month, and I start downloading stuff. What was it called? What's it? What's 1,000 terabytes? I forgot what it was called. There's a name for it. A petabyte? Is that a peta? I was watching a YouTube show. Linus Tech Tips, I think it was. And yeah, peta. And they put together a petabyte server for their stuff. Yeah. I can only imagine the heat that came from that thing. And oh, it wasn't just a petabyte either. He was running it in RAID, so it was technically 2 petabytes in 2 server towers. So you're talking 2,000 terabytes. That's crazy. They got some cool stuff on that show, though. I like watching that guy's show because he's smart. Get SSDs, yeah. He's smart, and he looks like he's not. I don't know how else to put it. He looks dumb, but he's really smart. So he looks like your average person. That sounds so mean. Yeah, he's huge now. I watched him back in the day too when he was just doing like he's talking about a graphics card or a new monitor and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, I think it was that. Yeah, I know he was getting paid from somebody, and he had like their company shirt on, and he stood behind a table and talked about stuff. Now they're big time. They were getting their entire studio room filled up with soundproofing, and that's expensive. Mm-hmm. Oof. All right, I gotta get going, man. It's 3:30 in the morning, and I was beat when I started this. I'm gonna call it a night. I gotta wake up tomorrow and finish that other theme. Yeah, thank you for coming along in the chat. I'll talk to you later, man.